Well,
Ready to roll?
yes, sir.
All right. Okay, quick announcement here is with the game week coming up, had a team vote. The 4 captains this year, Justin Dedich, Tulu Tuipulotu, Shane Lee, and Caleb Williams. So those will be the 4 captains. Had several others that got votes and certainly were represented, but it was by a pretty significant margin. I mean, the team pretty clearly, looks to those 4 as the guys they want to represent them. So it's a big honor for those guys. That's something that none of them take lightly. They all had a chance to address the team after being named captain last Friday, and they've done a tremendous job really leading the whole way through. So proud of those 4 leaders. We certainly have many other guys on our roster that we'll look to as leaders, without a doubt. There's way more than 4, but very cool honor for all 4 of those guys. And with that, we'll go questions.
It's finally game week. How did the team look coming out? How excited are they to kind of finally get rolling?
Yeah, they're excited. They've handled the preparation well. They're, right now you kind of fight the urge to want to look ahead. You still got to prepare at a high level. You got to come out here and work every day, try to have a singular focus. But we're all human too, and to say that there's not a real excitement about Saturday and the first one in the Coliseum would just be untrue. So we're all thrilled. I think everybody in the program, every player, every staff member is just counting down the minutes.
Defense was such a huge question, especially when you took over. How do you feel about just the transformation that unit has taken up to now?
I mean, I like what I've seen up to this point. I mean, we compete hard. We've developed a nice core of guys that we trust them doing their job. We trust the competitive nature that they're going to bring each and every day. We want to add more to that group. They're still on all 3 sides of the ball right now. There's still some guys kind of right there in the middle that they show a lot of promise. Most of them have the talent and ability to do it well. Now, are they going to be the consistent competitor, be able to stay focused and do their job no matter what the circumstances are? So we've got several that we think, yes, they are. We got several that are right on the cusp that we need to push over the edge. But defensively, it's a nice core of guys right now, and I love the way we fly around. I can't wait to see us play Saturday.
Any specific questions on that side of the ball that you still have kind of leading up into the game?
I've got questions about the whole roster. There's not one person in here that's not doing something new, and we made that point to the team the other day. I mean, there's not, we've only got one guy that coached here, Dante, but he didn't coach. He didn't coach with this staff and these guys and a lot of these players. Every player here is either in a new school, in a new system, or both. I mean, so no, it's great what everybody's done, but you got to go prove it on Saturdays. And I mean, that's all of us. That's me. That's all of us. I mean, none of us have done anything yet. We're going to all get our chance to go prove it. We'll see if we go prove it.
We've seen Max Williams at safety. What was the thought in moving him from nickel there, and what's he showing you throughout your time with him?
Yeah, he's working all over. He's he's one of those guys in the secondary. We've got a handful that benefited from being as thin as we were this spring. Most of those guys played all over the place, and he's a guy that just, both from a physical standpoint and from the mental side as well, can handle it. So he's a guy that we've repped. We've repped him at nickel. We've repped him at both safeties. I mean, he can really do most of it for us in the secondary. So it's been nice to have that piece to move around and work some different combinations. And also, you got to always be prepared if a guy goes down or what have you, that you're ready to step up and make the adjustments. And he's one of those pieces for us that we can mix and match.
You named Caleb Williams the starting quarterback, and you mentioned some other players who are going to play a lot. Is there a reluctance to release a depth chart?
No, we release it on Wednesday. That's always been our deal. Our deal's been, if we don't, I've just never got into the false deadlines. You know what I mean? I know everybody wants one on game week, but we need to get through our 2 heaviest practices. We tell these guys they're going to earn it out on the field, and so to me it'd be a little bit of a hypocrite if I said you're going to earn it on the field, but then you actually don't have to earn it on the field. So after tomorrow's practice, we'll release a depth chart's a little more extensive.
How much does Max's move to safety, kind of spell out confidence in Jalen Smith?
Well, they've both been strong players for us in the time that we've been here, and I think I think the fact that you've got one, just again having the luxury of Max being able to move around does create opportunities for Jalen to play, and so I think it shows Jalen that we're intent on giving him an opportunity based on what we've seen up to this point, and we think we have You know, originally those guys got 2 nickels, but we felt like we have 2 good players at that position. I think it shows the staff's willingness that we're going to find a way to get the best 11 out there. And we don't know what the best 11 is yet. We've got ideas. We'll see when game day comes. But obviously the fact that you've got 2 guys there at one position, you know, you want to have a plan, and our staff certainly does.
In what ways have you seen Tuli Tuipulotu step up as a leader in this?
I've been proud of him. I have. It's not his within his comfort zone to be extremely vocal, and that's okay. Like, every leader doesn't have to be that. In fact, some of the most influential leaders can be ones that are a little bit more by action, but he's picking his spots and he's being more vocal at the right times. He has a great, he's kind of the guy and really on the team, maybe more than anybody, that moves the needle for us as far as like a mentality standpoint. I mean, he just, you know, I don't know if we have a more consistent competitor than that guy. Brings it every day. He hasn't missed not one thing, and missed not one spring practice, and missed one rep of fall camp. He never misses anything, and he's always shows up and always ready to compete. And you can just tell, like, our guys, our whole football team feeds off of him. So he's vitally important. And we need him to continue to step up, and both as a leader and then also as a player. I mean, you watch some of his previous year's tape. He's an impressive guy, but he can play a lot better. I mean, we think what he's done on Saturdays up to this point and what he can do, we think there's a huge gap. And I think he's definitely improved. And one of the great lessons for all of our players in our program, our young players, the reasons he's improved is he brings it every day and he doesn't miss anything. He never misses practice. He never misses anything. When you do that and you bring a good attitude, you are going to get better. And I think he's gotten a lot better.
Have you seen him?
What have you seen from Rice on film?
Good group, good group. They've played some extremely competitive games. It's like the Arkansas game last year went down right to the last couple of minutes. Defensively, it'll be one of the more experienced groups that we play all year. A ton of returning starters, especially on the front and the back end. We know quarterback was a little bit of a mixed bag for them last year, but they seem to have settled in there. Our fans, a lot of people recognize offensively. They come from the Stanford tree, and so and they do a good job of being very, very multiple. So it's a quality football team coming in here. I mean, it's a first game, and so we know the level of competition that we're going to face, and we're going to have to be ready to play.
Thank you, Coach Riley.
Thanks.
Thank you.